Daniel was an ordinary young man living a busy life. Every day, he faced small problems, traffic jams, rude people, work pressure, and misunderstandings. Like most people, he reacted quickly. When someone spoke badly to him, he answered immediately. When things went wrong, he became angry. One morning, Daniel was late for work. The bus was crowded, and people were pushing each other. Someone stepped on his foot and did not say sorry. Daniel felt anger rising inside him. His heart beat faster. His mind filled with negative thoughts. He wanted to shout. He wanted to react. But suddenly, he remembered something his grandfather once told him. You don't have to react to everything. Daniel took a deep breath. He stayed silent. He looked out of the window instead of looking at the rude man. The anger did not disappear immediately, but it became weaker. That moment was small, but important. For the first time, Daniel understood that silence can be a form of strength. Later that day, another problem appeared at work. His colleague blamed him for a mistake he did not make. Everyone was watching. Daniel felt the same anger again. His body wanted to react. But this time he paused. He stayed calm. He spoke slowly. He explained the truth without shouting or blaming anyone. The situation ended peacefully. His manager respected his calm behavior. That evening, Daniel realized something powerful. When you don't react emotionally, you stay in control. This was only the beginning of his journey toward a calm mind and inner strength. As Daniel grew older, life became more demanding. At work, people often spoke without thinking. Some complained loudly. Others blamed him for mistakes that were not his fault. In these moments, Daniel felt his heart beat faster. His first instinct was to react, to defend himself, or to argue. But he remembered his father's advice. You don't have to react to everything. So Daniel decided to try something different. One day, a coworker criticized him in front of others. The words were sharp and unfair. Everyone expected Daniel to respond. The room was silent. Daniel took a deep breath. He stayed calm and said nothing. He focused on controlling his emotions instead of proving himself right. At first, this silence felt uncomfortable. Inside, Daniel was angry. His thoughts were loud, but his voice was quiet. After a few seconds, the tension disappeared. The coworker stopped talking. The moment passed. Daniel realized something important. By not reacting, he kept his power. Later that day, Daniel reflected on the situation. He noticed that staying calm saved him energy. He did not feel tired or stressed like he usually did after arguments. Instead, he felt strong and in control. This experience taught him that calmness is not weakness. It is inner strength. From that day on, Daniel began practicing emotional control. Whenever someone tried to provoke him, he paused, breathed deeply, and chose silence or kind words. Slowly, people treated him with more respect. They realized they could not control his emotions. Daniel learned a powerful lesson. Backhand index pointing right, not reacting, does not mean you accept bad behavior. Backhand index pointing right, it means you choose peace over chaos. This was only the beginning of his journey toward a calm and strong mindset. As time passed, Daniel started to notice something interesting. The situations around him did not change much, but his reaction did. People still complained, criticized, and acted emotionally. However, Daniel felt calmer inside. One day at work, a colleague blamed Daniel for a mistake he did not make. In the past, Daniel would have reacted immediately. He would have raised his voice and tried to defend himself. But this time he paused. He took a deep breath and stayed silent for a few seconds. That silence changed everything. The colleague continued speaking, but slowly realized the mistake was not Daniel's. Later, the colleague apologized. Daniel learned an important lesson. Not reacting immediately can protect your energy and your reputation. Daniel also noticed that silence gave him power. When he did not react, people listened more carefully to his words. His calm behavior made him look confident and mature. He understood that calmness is not weakness. It is inner strength. At home, Daniel practiced the same mindset. When family members argued, he stayed calm and spoke only when necessary. This reduced conflict and brought more peace into his life. He began to feel more in control of his emotions, not controlled by them. By learning not to react, Daniel was building a strong mindset. He realized that emotional control was like a muscle. The more he practiced, the stronger it became. As time passed, Daniel started to notice patterns in his reactions. He realized that most conflicts were not about the situation itself, but about how people reacted emotionally. When someone reacted with anger, the problem grew. When someone stayed calm, the problem slowly disappeared. One day at work, Daniel faced a serious challenge. A colleague blamed him for a mistake he did not make. The situation was unfair, and everyone was watching. In the past, Daniel would have defended himself loudly. But this time, he took a deep breath and stayed silent for a moment. Instead of reacting immediately, Daniel listened carefully. He spoke calmly and clearly, without anger or blame. His calm response surprised everyone in the room. The tension slowly dropped, and the truth came out naturally. The manager understood the situation, and the conflict ended peacefully. That day, Daniel learned a powerful lesson. Silence and calm words often speak louder than emotional reactions. He felt strong, not weak. He realized that controlling his emotions gave him control over the situation. Daniel began to practice this skill every day. When someone interrupted him, he paused. When someone criticized him, he listened first. Each time he chose calmness, he felt more confident and balanced. His mind became clearer, and his decisions improved. He understood that not reacting does not mean ignoring problems. It means responding with awareness and intention. This mindset helped him protect his energy and focus on what truly mattered. As time passed, Alex began to see the real power of not reacting. Situations that once controlled his emotions no longer had the same effect. When someone criticized him unfairly, he listened calmly instead of arguing. When plans failed, he paused, breathed deeply, and chose a thoughtful response. One day at work, a colleague blamed Alex for a mistake he did not make. Everyone was watching. The old Alex would have reacted immediately, raising his voice to defend himself. But this time, he stayed silent for a moment. He controlled his emotions and spoke calmly. He explained the situation with facts, not anger. In the end, the truth became clear, and Alex earned respect for his behavior. This experience taught Alex an important lesson. Calmness is a form of strength. Reacting emotionally often makes problems bigger, but staying calm helps you see solutions clearly. He understood that silence was not weakness. It was self-control. Alex also realized that not every situation needs a response. Some words are meant to provoke, not communicate. By choosing not to react, he protected his energy and inner peace. This mindset helped him focus on what truly mattered. Slowly, Alex's calm attitude began to influence others. People felt more comfortable around him. They trusted him in difficult moments because he remained stable and thoughtful. His inner control became visible on the outside. As time passed, Daniel began to notice something surprising. The more he controlled his reactions, the more confident he felt inside. Situations that once made him nervous or angry no longer had the same power over him. One day at work, a big problem appeared. A project deadline was missed, and everyone started blaming each other. Voices were loud, and tension filled the room. In the past, Daniel would have defended himself immediately. But this time he stayed calm. He listened carefully, took a deep breath, and spoke slowly. Instead of reacting emotionally, he focused on solutions. He said, "Let's look at what went wrong and how we can fix it." His calm attitude changed the atmosphere. People stopped arguing and started thinking clearly. Later, Daniel realized an important lesson. Not reacting does not mean being weak. It means being strong enough to control your emotions. When you stay calm, you can think better, speak better, and act wisely. He also learned that silence can be powerful. You don't need to respond to every comment or criticism. Sometimes, staying quiet protects your energy and peace of mind. Not every battle deserves your reaction. By practicing emotional control every day, Daniel felt more balanced. His mind became clearer, and his stress level decreased. He understood that inner strength grows when you choose calmness over chaos. As time passed, Daniel began to notice something important. When he did not react immediately, people reacted differently to him. Arguments became shorter. Conflicts lost their power. Even difficult people seemed calmer around him. One day at work, a coworker blamed Daniel for a mistake he did not make. Everyone was watching. In the past, Daniel would have become angry and defended himself loudly. But this time he stayed calm. He took a deep breath and said, "Let's check the facts first." When they reviewed the situation, it became clear that Daniel was not responsible. The room fell silent. His calm response earned him respect. Daniel realized that not reacting does not mean weakness. It shows confidence and inner strength. Daniel also learned that silence can be powerful. When someone tried to provoke him, his calm silence often stopped the conflict before it started. He understood that many people seek emotional reactions. When he refused to give one, he kept control of the situation. This new mindset changed how Daniel saw himself. He felt stronger inside. He was no longer controlled by other people's words or actions. His emotions became his choice. By practicing calmness every day, Daniel discovered a deep truth. The strongest mind is the one that stays peaceful in chaos. As time passed, Daniel noticed a deep change inside himself. Situations that once made him angry or anxious now felt easier to handle. When someone spoke rudely, he paused. When problems appeared at work, he stayed calm. This pause gave him power. Daniel realized something important. Not reacting does not mean weakness. It means strength. It means choosing peace over chaos. He understood that many people react automatically because they are controlled by emotions. But when you control your emotions, you control your life. One day, Daniel faced a serious challenge. A big mistake happened at work, and many people started blaming each other. Voices were loud, and tension filled the room. Everyone expected Daniel to react strongly, but he stayed silent, took a deep breath, and calmly suggested a solution. His calm behavior changed the atmosphere. People slowly stopped arguing and began listening. Together, they fixed the problem. After that day, Daniel earned respect, not because he shouted, but because he stayed calm under pressure. At home, Daniel also practiced calmness. When problems appeared in his family, he listened more and spoke less. This created understanding instead of conflict. He learned that silence, when used wisely, can heal relationships. Daniel now believed that inner peace was a skill, something you practice daily. Each time he chose not to react, his mind became stronger. Calmness became his habit, and confidence followed naturally. Over time, Maria began to notice a remarkable change in herself. Situations that would once have triggered anger or frustration no longer affected her in the same way. When a colleague criticized her work unfairly, she simply listened, nodded, and responded calmly without letting emotions control her actions. She realized that not reacting immediately allowed her to think more clearly. By pausing, she could understand the situation better, choose the right words, and maintain her dignity. People around her started to notice her composure and respected her more. At home, too, small annoyances that once upset her, like messy rooms or forgotten chores, no longer caused arguments. She felt lighter, happier, and more in control of her life. Maria discovered that calmness was a strength, not weakness. The story teaches that mastering the power of emotional control doesn't happen overnight. It requires practice, patience, and self-awareness. Each time you pause instead of reacting, you strengthen your mind, your relationships, and your personal peace. Maria's journey of learning to remain calm in all situations finally reached a turning point. She understood that life would always present challenges, stressful colleagues, unexpected problems, or misunderstandings with friends and family. But she now had the tools to face every situation with a calm mind. By choosing not to react impulsively, Maria strengthened her inner peace and mental clarity. She became more confident in her decisions and built stronger relationships. People began seeking her advice because of her ability to stay composed under pressure. Maria realized that true strength lies in control, patience, and emotional intelligence. Each moment She chose calmness over anger or frustration, reinforced her mindset, and created a ripple effect in her life. Her story reminds us that anyone can improve their emotional control with consistent practice. By pausing, reflecting, and responding thoughtfully, you can transform stress into clarity, conflict into understanding, and challenges into opportunities for growth.